All right. Last video I'm planning on recording today, and this is going to be talking about styling mostly. So the idea here is that an example is an indentation. Someone can put like one space here, someone can put two spaces, someone can put 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, right? And so all of these are correct, and they work properly, and the Python console can, or like compiler or whatever, can run it without error. But the problem is that we need to have a way to standardize code between all platforms so that if someone puts two spaces for one thing, they put two spaces for the other thing, right? Like it has to be the same way, and we can make this work with each other. And so what we're going to look at is styling, how we can style code and show what we're doing to other developers so all developers can, follow this standard, and so to avoid confusion, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open Safari, and I'm going to look at, let's say, Python style guide, right? And so if I go here, you can see there's a long document about how styling should work and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read all of it. Two things I'm going to show you guys. First one is indentation. So here, there's a section for it. If I click on it, you can see that it says that use 4 spaces per indentation level, right? And so it's showing it add 4 spaces, an extra level of indentation to distinguish arguments from the rest. And so this basically shows that for showing blocks of code, what we will have to do is we have to add indentation, add 4 spaces. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Or basically you can also just put a tab. A tab is also equal to 4 spaces, which is, what we want here. And this will be the, what is it called? The standard way of indenting stuff. It'll be all the time, just put 4 indentations for each block of code to show Python that it's different. And something else that you will probably see is these hashtags that are in the code, but they're human language. They're not actually syntax or they're not colored or whatever, right? And that's because these are called comments. An idea of a comment is that it's something that is not executed by the compiler, but it's only there to explain to humans that are reading the code what the code is doing, right? I've seen a lot of people in first year, for example, I'm in computer science, right? I've seen them that they try to read code, and that's their hardest challenge, right? Because the code they've written does not have any comments. When they go back and try to read it, they're like, oh man, this is very, very difficult and weird because I don't understand it, right? But if they had written comments, they would have then understood it. Like, for example, here, I have age equals 17. I'm going to make a comment, be like, set age equals to 17. And then the next comment is going to be an if statement. I'm going to be like, check for minimum age requirement, which is 16 in Ontario, right? And then I can just add the rest. So the idea is that if I start with a hashtag sign, everything else in this, like in front of that line, is going to just be ignored by the compiler, and it's just not going to go through it. That's the idea of here. And so like if I run it again, you will see that it will still do the same thing, and it doesn't really care about the comments. I can write as many comments as I want. Nothing really happens. The more comments, the better. But like, don't just like write an essay in your programming language, programming file, coding file, or whatever, right? You want to have it balanced. You just want to explain just enough so that people understand it, and not too much, because that wastes time. Okay, that's all for this section. The section is over. Next, I'm going to look into a bit more deeper into if statements, and then we're going to look at loops and some basic operations we can do with Python, and we're going to start writing simple programs. That's all for this time. Have a good day.